Today I'm going to show you how I make chocolate bundt cake with the chocolate glaze. Okay, now for the cake part, it's going to be identical to the Oreo cupcakes that I made. I'm going to use a box of the Devil's Food cake and also a box of the Jell-O chocolate instant pudding. Okay, I have the oven preheating at 350 degrees. You want to have the rack in the center of the oven. Now I make many homemade cakes, but this one is just so delicious just the way it is using the box mix. But you can definitely make your own Devil's Food cake. Okay, I'm going to add 1 cup of vegetable oil. I'm going to add a ½ cup of warm water. Okay, I have 4 eggs here. I'm just going to go ahead and lightly beat them a little bit. And 1 cup of sour cream. Okay, just want to combine everything. Okay, once it's combined, I'm going to add a 12-ounce bag of the mini semi-sweet chocolate chips. Okay, you want to make sure that your bundt pan has been greased and floured. I like to use shortening, and I use all-purpose flour. I like to use a little container that has little holes in the top. Just makes it a little bit easier to sprinkle it, especially around the middle of the bundt pan. Okay, I'm just going to scoop the batter in. It's not a real thin batter, so you wouldn't be able to really pour it in. But it'll be really moist because it has the sour cream and the chocolate pudding and then of course all the chocolate chips. Okay, I'm just spreading it out just a little bit to make sure it's pretty even. Okay, now just like with the cupcakes, this is a very moist cake, but you can still check it with a toothpick to make sure it comes out clean. But you want to remember it's loaded with chocolate chips, so you'll have some chocolate on your toothpick, but it won't be raw cake batter. There's a big difference. Okay, for the chocolate glaze, I'm going to use 8 ounces of bittersweet chocolate. I'm just taking the 2 bars and chopping them up. Just makes it melt a lot easier. Okay, to the chocolate, I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of corn syrup. Okay, for the chocolate glaze, I always like to double the recipe, so that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to add 1 cup of heavy cream. I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of just regular white sugar. Okay, I'm going to heat this over medium heat. And I'm going to stir it until the sugars dissolve, and I want the cream hot enough to melt the chocolate. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pour the mixture on the chocolate. And you just want to stir it until all the chocolate's melted. Okay, before I forget, I want to make sure I thank Backwoods Billy Craft Beer Reviews. He gave me a shout out on his channel. Thank you so much. Okay, I also want to give a quick shout out to a couple other channels. Cooking with a Little Spice, Nova Scotia Living, and Cindy's Kitchen. I'm going to list everyone's channel links in the description box. Please go check them out. Okay, now it hasn't cooled completely, but I'm going to go ahead and try to invert it. Hopefully it won't stick. This is definitely the most scariest part when you bake. No matter how many times you bake, and no matter how well you grease it, sometimes it just sticks. So you gotta give a little tap on the bottom. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and remove it and hope and pray that the whole thing didn't stick. Oh, there we go. Yay! Okay, I'm gonna let it cool for just a few minutes before I add the chocolate glaze. I saw Cooking with Cricket, she did some homemade chocolate frosting for her bundt cake. It looked absolutely delicious, and it made me think about making this cake again. So I'm going to put her link in the description bar also. Okay, I put the chocolate glaze back in the pan just in case it got a little too cool. I could always warm it up. And I'm just going to go ahead and pour it over the top. And you just want to kind of pour it to where it pours down the sides. You want to cover as much of it as possible. That's why you definitely want to double that recipe. Unless you don't like a lot of chocolate, which you probably wouldn't want this cake then. Okay, now if this doesn't look delicious to you, then you must not like chocolate. And like I said, you don't have to use as much as I did. I just like chocolate, and I love a lot of frosting or icing or glaze, so that's why I added as much. Okay, I'm definitely going to have me a slice of this. Of course, you got to remember it's still warm. The longer it sits, it'll serve out a lot easier, but that's all right. Yep, this is definitely going to be messy. It'll be worth it though. Oh, actually, it wasn't nearly as messy as I thought it was going to be. I just wish you could tell how moist it was. Anytime you add pudding to your cake mixtures, it just makes it so moist and delicious. Okay, I can't wait any longer. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick bite. It's delicious. If you love chocolate, I probably didn't have to tell you that. If you love chocolate like I do, please give this one a try. After all, it uses cake mix, and you don't even have to break out the mixer. There you have it. Thanks a lot.